Good afternoon, everybody. We're ready to start now. So welcome to the Postgraduate Research Lounge. I'm absolutely delighted that so many of you could make it today. I think today just shows just how much of a celebration that we need to actually launch this event, because so many people will be benefiting from this space. We're going to have loads of amazing things happen in this space. I'm hoping that you're enjoying your lunch. There's cakes and coffees and teas. We've got members of our senior management from university here with us. We've got directors of PGR with us as well. We've got members from the project board team as well, so that this is a really, really nice day to celebrate. So what we'll do today is we'll have the Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Brian Cantor, say a few words to welcome you to the space. And then I will be talking to you about how the space is designed and intended to run. And then hopefully we'll have a chance to network and have a look at some of the posters. The PGR Society, Niall, where are you? There's Niall. PGR Society will be taking some memberships as well if you want to join the PGR Society. Niall will explain about that a little bit later on as well. So please welcome with me Professor Brian Cantor.
Look, thanks very much, Bushra, did a great job. I've discovered that sometimes when you speak up to Bushra, she says it all anyway, so I leave me with nothing to say, but you did a great job this time. It's a pleasure to be able to come here and be able to be part of the launch, the opening of this great space for postgraduate researchers. I snuck in here a bit in advance of time a few days ago when we had the end of year celebration. So last Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday, and I came in and had a quick look around, and I was pretty impressed. I'd heard from Bushra that it was very, very good, and I do think the team of people who made this happen have done a fantastic job. I think the space is great, and it's going to be a great place to work and a great place to socialise as well, because it's for both of those purposes. So I don't know why there hasn't been a space like this for postgraduate researchers here at the university before. I only came to the university just over a year ago myself. I arrived as shortly before we had two things. We had a postgraduate research review, which had already been started before I arrived, so I take no credit for that. And we had a QAA review from the Quality Assurance Agency, which is the UK agency that oversees how we provide things for our students, which came last year too. So in my first year, both of those things happened, an internal review and also an external review. And the internal review gives us lots of good ideas and things we should do and ways to do things better. The external review is in some sense is more important because it's an external agency who has quite a lot of control over us. We do have to respond to the things they say. Anyway, they both said that we have not been handling and supporting our postgraduate research students as well as we should have been. In a variety of ways, in all the arrangements for people to do their research, the supervision arrangements, the assessment arrangements, and there's been a big program now as a consequence of those two reviews of upgrading how we do all that, and I hope that you're all finding that gradually things are going to improve. Some of you have been here 2 or 3 years, you probably may well have seen some of the poorer things, but hopefully you're beginning to see some of those new things coming in. And if you've only just arrived, I wish I hadn't mentioned it all because you probably thought it was all good anyway, so I'm sorry for mentioning it. But anyway, we're in the middle of a program of substantial improvements to how our postgraduate researchers are treated. We're a research-intensive university. It's extremely important to us. We've just launched a new university strategy which says that we're a technology university. We're about delivering technological solutions to people, and that means understanding how to make a difference to the world. It may be in the social sphere, it may be in the scientific sphere, but technological in the sense that we're about delivering real value solutions to society. But we're also a research-intensive university. We're a university where the research, being at the cutting edge of research, is what delivers the best teaching to our undergraduate students, but also directly delivers value to society through the research we do. We do applied research, or fundamental research, which has a strong applied capability. We're committed to doing that. We're committed to making a difference to the research we do. But we're also committed that our students, when they go out, our undergraduate students, have an understanding of all of that, and our research needs to inform all of the teaching too. So research is absolutely the core of our being. And the new university strategy says this. It says we're about delivering to society, we're about doing it in a research-informed way, we're international. We've got to look around the room and see how international we are. We believe in doing things not just as society in Bradford, but not just in the UK, but worldwide. We want students from worldwide, we want our students to go out worldwide, we want our ideas, our research to have an impact worldwide. So these are all aspects of what the university is about. Research informed, having an impact on society, being international, being extremely high quality. So we only recruit high quality research students as well as all of our students. So that's what our new university strategy says. And we have not been supporting our researchers as well as we should have been. Very easy, particularly when you're doing a postgraduate research degree, even more so than when you're an undergraduate, because usually you're a little bit older and you're concentrating on your research, you get very wound up in your research. Research is an incredibly exciting thing to do. It's an incredibly hard thing to do. You know, the world is a difficult old place. It's hard to win new knowledge which is secure. That's otherwise, you know, we could all go home, we could discover it all very quickly. That's why we have to have a massive research industry. It's why it's worth doing, you know, having to spend 2, 3, 4 years doing a major piece of work to discover anything of significance. It takes time. It's hard. And you know, I sort of loosely thought when I was a young man, well, you know, if you research things after a while, you will understand everything. I can tell you that it's a well-known saying that if you do a bit of research, and the likelihood is you end up with more questions at the end than you started with. So, because the world's got an awful lot of questions around. So, I've been around now a long time, I'm old enough to have noticed that after a lot of research in my lifetime, and the research industry has become very strong in my lifetime, actually, the world's still faced with loads of complicated problems, and they seem to be more complicated than they were 40 or 50 years ago. So, the world's very hard to win research information. But it's incredibly exciting to do it, and to be able to do a postgraduate research degree is a fantastic privilege, and it's hard work, it's very, very demanding, but it's very exciting. But in the course of it, there's a tendency to get so wound up with what you're doing and so entrained in it, and you know, the complexity and concentrating on it, that you perhaps ignore the wider university and the wonderful riches that there are in a university. Believe me, I was once asked, if I had my time over at Cambridge, what would I do again? And what I said was, I was interviewed by some newspaper for some reason or other, and I said I would have gone to one of the lectures by Paul Dirac. Dirac is one of the most famous physicists in the world, and I was a physicist, and he was one of the greatest physicists ever, and he was there at Cambridge giving lectures, and I never went to one of his lectures. And it's important to access the great intellectual opportunities and social opportunities that there are here in the university. Now, amongst that is going to lectures, but while I was at Cambridge, they also opened something called a Postgraduate Research Centre when I was at Cambridge, which is fantastic. I did do that. Of course, that was more going, enjoying yourself, having a sandwich and chatting to people and having a drink and that kind of thing. And perhaps that was easier for me, and I should have concentrated more on going to lectures. But anyway, the social side was just as important, because I met loads of people doing other interesting things in other departments, in other subjects. And I'd had that when I was an undergraduate, but I didn't continue it as a research student until they opened the Postgraduate Research Centre at Cambridge. So that's what this space is for. This space is so that people can come together here, specifically, obviously researchers, that's why it's a postgraduate research room. You can come here, and you can meet other people, you can socialise with them, you can talk about things to do with the research you're doing, you can talk about things which are to do with the social circumstances, either here in the UK or across the world, whatever. Because that's part of the great experience about being at the university. And even when you're concentrating so hard on your research degree, that is very, very important to have great opportunities of that sort. So, that's what it's here for. It's great that we've now got this. We're looking forward to seeing all of you in here every day, so you can enjoy making use of it, and tell all the other, the others. There's plenty more postgraduate researchers and people linked to the research business here in the university who we want to make use of this as well. I've got to thank some people because, first of all, I should say the event's organised by UBU, the student union, and the catering is by Sodexo, funded by the graduate school. So we should thank them, and if you had a sandwich, then you owe them your thanks. I should also say that I should mention the student representatives who lobbied for this facility, as well as the 2 reviews I mentioned. The postgraduate student officer, Sam Strong, who made probably the main, did all the hard work to make this actual event today happen. And the project board, who made sure that the room was done up in this way, was led by Shirley Congdon, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, who's here somewhere, Bushra, who is of course the Academic Affairs Officer for the Student Union, who was the lead stakeholder representative, it says here, which is a good way of saying that she was very important in deciding what should happen. David Smith from UVU, Debbie Lewis, the architect from Berman Riley, Clive Wilson, the Director of Estates and Facilities, and Orshi Atkinson, the finance manager. So that was the team who decided, once the university had decided, to put funds into this and to make this happen. And I was part of that, so I will own to be having chaired the group that decided to put the funds into having a postgraduate research room, following the 2 reviews we had and some lobbying from the student union. So we decided to do that. But then this group I've just mentioned, we should thank particularly strongly for their efforts in making a great space. In fact, you might just give them a quick round of applause. I know that the details, they did a great job because there was an enormous amount of consultation with students and with others and opinion polls to try and work out what was happening.
Thank you for that, Brian. I'd like to echo that. Please do enjoy the space and please do enjoy continuing to do your PhD here. It is a free lunch, but as Gwendolyn just pointed out, there's no such thing as a free lunch. So we would like you to fill out this survey to tell us what you actually think. They're all with Margaret there, so you can either collect them as the day goes along and then just drop them off at either side of the room and we'll collect them at the end. Just before you all disappear and do have a look at the posters and hopefully network as you do that, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what this space is for, what thinking went into the space and what we would like, what the vision is for this space. So hopefully what this symbolizes is a step forward in the creation and the building of a research community and a strong research community across the University of Bradford and the beautifully diverse campus that we have. It's definitely been a long time coming to have such a space where PGR students can obviously call their own, where they can socialize and work and help each other grow intellectually, hopefully by providing the opportunity to have interdisciplinary conversations. But what's the space actually designed for? So the lounge is kind of in roughly 3 zones. We've got a study zone over there, which I'm hoping some of you would have had a chance to look at it. So there's some PCs, independent study areas and collaborative study areas. There's this social space centrally in the middle, and then there's a really, really loungy area with a TV where you guys can literally just chill out after a hard day's work. There's also a kitchen in there, and that contains a microwave, a fridge, hot drinks vending machine, and hot water, so that you can use for when you want to come and have lunch or want to come and make a cup of tea. So all of these things are hopefully designed to enhance your social experience here at the university. So as well as it being a social space, like I said, it's a learning zone, so you've got the alternative study space that supplements what you have in your faculties and in the library, and it enables you to work collaboratively with one another. We've got the team from the hub who are in that office there, and what they do there is, so Tish is the leader of that team. Like Tish just pointed out, they work in that office. So it is designed to be a back office. So all your services that you received from the hub are still accessible via the frontline services in the office in the Richmond building. But you are all welcome to make appointments if necessary with Tish and her team. We've also got resources that are designed to help you out with your study. So like I said, the PC's over there, but there's also in this little corner, there's a printer here. And if you guys remember earlier this year, we loaded all of your UB cards with £50 worth of printing credits. So that is for you guys to use however you please. And you can access that via UB cards with this printer here and any other printer across campus in the library, etc. We have 2 meeting rooms behind you. They are kind of hiding behind the posters, but they are there for you guys to use, whether you want to do extracurricular activity or you want to invite someone and talk to them about your research, etc. That's that space for you to do that. If you want to engage in PGR Society activity, that's again a space for you guys to do that. There's presentation facilities in there, so you can even hold your own conferences or whatever you want in this space. And like Brian said, the way we arrived at this space, the creation of this space, it took a lot of the hard work from the student body and working in partnership with the university. Again, it symbolizes that strong partnership that we have. And it, we delivered good outcomes that both the university wanted and the student body wanted as well. So it's been just over a year since we started planning the refurbishment of this space. In the not so distant past, this space used to be a bank and a cafe. It's completely transformed, as you can see, over the year. We've, like we said, we held a number of student consultations. We've managed to feedback your opinions in terms of what the space looks like, what the space contains, and we can continue to do that over the running of the space and once it's open. But I think the key turning point was when the Quality Assurance Agency came and did its review of the university. We all saw that there was a clear need for something for PGR students and to enhance their experience on campus. So this is really one of the biggest things that we try to do for the student body. It's been a real pleasure for me personally to engage in creating this space on behalf of the student body, and it's given me the chance to engage with a group of students that traditionally students' unions haven't been very good at engaging. So it's been an honour for me, and a big thank you to all the student reps and the faculty reps who have been really engaged in this process. So I really appreciate that for you guys. So what's the vision for the future for this space? Well, my vision personally is over the course of the next academic year, I'd like to see this space bustling with students as it is today. I think it's a great turnout. I think if you guys constantly use the space, if you see yourselves constantly using the space, that'd be brilliant. It's why we made it. And we want to see people from every faculty. We want to see people doing collaborative work, extracurricular activities, sharing ideas and exploring other disciplines that you might not necessarily have come across in your faculties and in your departments. But most importantly, what I'd really like to see is this space transform into exactly what you guys want it to be, because if there's one message that I want to leave with you guys today is that this space is your space. It's a student space. You guys can do in it anything that you please. If there are activities that you want to run from here, if there are supervisors that you want to invite and have a conversation with, it is literally up to you what you do in this space. We're hoping that the space will be open 24 hours a day. We will see how the space runs, and that's subject to change if it doesn't get very high usage. But we're very happy to support you in anything that you'd like to do in the Students' Union. Please do speak to us. There's Phil, who's usually he's over there behind the camera. He'll be able to help you with any kind of events that you might want to have in here. Andy and Dan from the Students' Union will also be happy to support you in any activities that you want to do. And finally, all that's left for me to say is please do enjoy the rest of the day. Please enjoy the space. Use it to the maximum potential that it has. Help yourselves to food and drink, and we'll hope to see more of you soon over the next few years. Thank you very much.
So what does the PGR room space mean for postgraduate students?
Hopefully this space is intended to be a social space and a study space, combined with a support area for students to be able to engage in their extracurricular activities. Hopefully it will be a nice space to engage in interdisciplinary conversations to enhance the research environment we have on Bradford's beautifully diverse campus.
As a postgraduate student, what benefit would a space like this brings to postgraduate students?
Well, first it's a focal point where they can gather. I think as a postgraduate, especially a PGR student, it's quite an isolatory experience, you're on your own. So to have a place where you can meet other students is just invaluable. It cuts out that sort of loneliness that you feel, and then you've got people to connect with, and if you have issues, this is where you can come to. You can come if you've got issues, or you can share ideas, and it's just a great place. I would have loved to have had this in my life.
From talking to other people at the beginning, it was found that there was a need that people did want to have a society where they could meet up with people from different faculties and see how they get on in terms of research and teaching. So that's what we're trying to facilitate. We have a committee in place at the moment, but it's not up to us to decide what we do. What we want to be in a position is that ye tell us what you want us to do, and then we can facilitate it working with the Students' Union. We have a few application forms at the end of the room there. If you want to talk to me about it, please do join up. But it's mainly, we've got a brilliant space like this. Some of the ideas that we have are, to have presentation evenings where you can, if you've got a conference coming up and you want to practice presenting in front of people, we can facilitate that. You can get your feedback. People can work together in terms of that. Other things are, more social activities. Hopefully we'll get a good summer's weather in Bradford. That isn't always the case. But, have a few events where we can go outside the city, maybe go up to Ilkley, do a bit of walking, something like that. But at the end of the day, it's not us that are going to decide what we do. It's up to you. So if you have any ideas that you think the society can do for you, please let us know. Okay, thank you very much.